I love it when it rains because my car kind of looks clean. I swear, this make and model, the 2001 Hyundai Santa Fe, had a defect in its black paint. Because I've seen several cars where it looks like you've been parked on the beach for like a year, and that the paint's starting to corrode and so on and so forth. I'm really sorry about this weird light flickering thing. It's really starting to piss me off, to be honest. I wish I could fix it. Try not to be pissed off, though. That's what this is all about, folks. Making people smile and making myself smile and enjoying life. Got two things that I want to talk about tonight. I think I'm going to start... Alright, let's start with this. There's been a lot of talk, and there's been a lot of interesting responses from both sides of the fence on this one. I know I've been trying to steer clear of politics, but I mean, I strongly believe in a new America, something that we start fresh like we just got here. I don't know how to get to that point, but I'm going to keep working towards it, and I'm going to keep coming up with ideas and sharing them on here, and maybe something will catch on, and one morning I'll wake up and I'll be in a new country. I don't know. I want to talk about the 9/11 Memorial Gift Shop. This has been coming up a lot. Like you guys know, for months I've been listening to conservative radio. I haven't been doing it as much, but I tune in at least once a day just to kind of hear something. And I tell you, I can deal with almost all of them. I can deal with Sean Hannity. I can deal with Glenn Beck, kinda. I can't deal with Rush Limbaugh. I can't deal with Sam Sorbo, and I can't deal with Laura Ingraham. The three of them are the extreme. And I used to think that Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and Papa Bear, what's his name, Bill O'Reilly, were the real crazies, and they are, but not quite as crazy as these other three. Sam Sorbo's just out of her fucking mind. Like, I don't care what you say to me, like, she's out of her fucking mind. She's crazy. And I'm not even just talking about, like, her politics. Like, I'm saying I think she's really crazy. She's emotionally a disastrous individual. Like, she seems like the kind of person that would take a gun and shoot people, to be completely honest. Given the opportunity to take out the president or something like that. Can I say that? I don't mean it. I have no intentions of that. I'm just saying that I think that she's the kind of individual that I'm afraid of. So, but on all these shows, even her, it hasn't been too crazy of a discussion because most Republicans that I've listened to seem to think it's okay. Like the Holocaust Museum has a gift shop and other ones. But, see, now I'm assuming that a good portion of the proceeds go to support families of loved ones that were killed in obviously 9/11. That's what it really boils down to for me. I don't have a problem with the gift shop as long as someone's not making big bucks off of it. If the money's getting rolled back in to keep the place up and running, I'm all for that. That's cool. You know what? You need to pay your employees, then sell some merchandise. That's cool. Upkeep, cleaning things out, updating things, adding things. Totally understand if the money goes towards that. But if the money's going into anybody's pocket for profit, then I'm totally against it because that's bullshit. Like, I don't care what the tragedy is. Nobody should benefit from a tragedy like that, like in a monetary fashion. Not necessarily in other ways. I mean, it's okay to, grow stronger as a person or whatever. But as far as financial concerns, sure, you want to have a gift shop at any of the worst tragedy sites in the world, that's fine, as long as the money's going to a good cause or to keep the actual operation up and running. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I could be wrong, I'd hate to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's probably where the money's going back into. Wouldn't you think? Doesn't that seem logical to you? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. I guess I didn't have much to say about that. That's just my opinion on it. Like, I mean, a museum, I think a lot of the money goes back into a museum, even though it's not dedicated to a tragedy. I was watching bits and pieces of what's that? It's the Zero Dark 30. I've been trying to watch that, but I know Carol has no interest in it. And honestly, I don't think it looks that great. But I do want to finish that just because I'd like to see like kind of. I'm sure it's not completely non-fictional. I'm sure there's a little bit of a twist in there, but nonetheless, I mean, just interesting to see stuff like that. History. I'm not a huge history buff, as you know, but nonetheless, I would like to see that because it kind of goes along with a lot of things that I'm kind of reading about and talking about lately. Which kind of leads me to my second point that I want to talk about tonight. Now, this is interesting. This is going to be a two-parter. One part tonight, and hopefully the other part tomorrow night. I haven't listened to the interview with Edward Snowden, but I want to give you my opinion of him before I actually see the interview with him. This is fresh. I've seen pictures of him, but I've never heard him talk or anything. So I don't know if he's going to come across as a lunatic or if he's going to come across. And I'm sure they're going to edit it to benefit however they feel anyway. But the MSNBC or NBC News. However, I want to tell you my opinion of him now, and then I want to tell you my opinion of him tomorrow night based on what I see. So most people are saying he's either a traitor or a patriot. I think labeling him either of those is probably an extreme on either side. It's probably a little closer to home on one side or the other. Now, the fact that he got exiled and he's he's allowed to stay in Moscow, that's a little fishy to me. Like, that seems a little like he goes to where was it? It wasn't Japan. It wasn't China. It was somewhere in China. Beijing? I can't remember. But you have to wonder why he chose to go there first and how he ended up in Russia. You know what I mean? Like this might be a bigger thing than we actually know. Like, obviously, very little information is going to be allowed out. You know, obviously, in this case, it was a very extreme case because he went right to the press, and the press, well, I'm sure they went over it with a fine-tooth comb before they released a lot of things, too. However, his actions after he did it make me wonder about him as a person. Like, I understand getting out of the country. Where he went, though, I know he had to go to a country that he couldn't be extradited. That makes sense to me. But why did he choose the ones he chose? That's my only negative thing I have to say about him before this interview. On another note, like, I do think information should be a little bit more freely distributed, and I know a lot is now. 20 years ago, you couldn't read half of the stuff you read, but there's still stuff out there that you can't read that's blacked out, and Freedom of Information Act. And I'm sure, like, knowing our government and our people and the media and whose pockets everyone is in, pretty much, the only thing that's going to make the news is stuff that's not going to make a difference, really. They'll give you stuff that'll make you shake your head sometimes, I think, but they're going to feed it to you, they're going to spoon feed it to you, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they're like, oh, no, can't give them that bite, here you go. Like, I really feel like there's a lot of information that we don't get to hear about because of the powers that be, basically, and the money and where it ends up. However, I like what Snowden was trying to do. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that did leak out could do harm to the country. However, I think it's a right move to do. I think he made the right move to release, no matter what it was. Even if it was something that got us, you know, in big trouble with the UN or something like that. I think it's the right move to do because I think it's time for a change. And I don't think change is going to happen on its own. Like, I think, and I can't say that I don't think we can elect anybody into office that could make a change for, you know, just leveling the playing field when it comes to politics and when it comes to matters of the church and matters of I don't know where I was just going with that. You know, we just need a fresh start. We really do. Like, there's so many things I could complain about that I'm trying not to complain these days about. That I think only an extreme gesture, as he did, could even get the ball rolling. Unfortunately, like, there was nothing. I mean, there were a few bits and pieces in all the information that got leaked that, yes, it did reveal a lot of things to people that I don't think they realized were happening. The thing is, I knew most of that shit was happening anyway, with or without him coming forward and saying it. It just proves that I might not be as crazy as I think you are. Ooh, girl! So, that being said, I don't know too much about him. I know, basically what you read in the papers. And so, yes, I support anything that can bring about the people waking up in this country and realizing that they're being screwed over day after day, basically. And as soon as everyone's aware of that, I'm hoping that eventually people will start, I don't know, hanging out in their communities and talking about it a little bit more and, spreading the word. And eventually I think, people will just be like, you know what? This is my government, and it's not my government anymore. It's in the pockets of the people who are multi-billionaires and trillionaires. I'm sure they're out there, and we just don't hear much about them. But, and his actions, I think in part that's probably what he was trying to accomplish, is inform, spread his message, and get the fact that we let a lot of shit slide in this country because we don't think we have the power to change it. But I think we do. We have numbers, we have mass communication. There's got to be enough people out there that feel the same way I feel about things like, equality in wealth, not just in men, women, black, white. I mean, equality in wealth across the board. And I'm not even going to get into that. If you want, go back to the beginning of my videos. I talk about it all the time. I'm not talking just about the 99% and the 1%. I'm just talking in general. Like, there's a huge inequality in wealth, and there's not a middle class. There's no money, lots of money. And then those disillusioned thinking that, because they're getting by, they aren't getting screwed. You've been screwed all along. You just don't even realize it. Screwed, lewd, and tattooed. Yeah, so I think my point, I'm hoping my views on him don't change drastically. Because, I want to believe that he's a good guy. But I also just think it's weird that, like, I wouldn't turn myself in. Fuck that. No, I wouldn't do that. If I did that, and there was a paper trail, apparently, he did try to say things to people like, listen, we shouldn't be doing this. I think this is illegal. It's unconstitutional. Look at this. And no one would listen to him. And then finally, you poke the sleeping bear long enough and they wake up. And then, oh shit, like, it's too late. But this goes to show you, like, just what he leaked. What hasn't been leaked that we don't know about? What is going on behind the scenes that makes our lives not quite as... I don't know the word. I don't want to say, because I like my life, but, like, level. Like, it all comes down to money. Everything comes down to money. Like, I have no love for money. I have no love of possessions, really. When I get older, Carol and I'd be happy to live in a cabin in the woods. I'd like to have electricity and internet, but, other than that, like, I'm a homebody. I like being home. Like, I really do. There's so much I can do here right now. Now, mind you, if I had the money, I would travel like crazy. I would take the family everywhere constantly. And if I had a shit ton of money, you can go back and watch that other video. What would I do with $1? What would I do with 100,000, million, so on and so forth. Like, if I had a crap ton of money, then I would help. And I would make a difference. And I would make a change. Gonna make a change once in my life. See that hologram of Michael Jackson? Doesn't look like him. Mind you, it's incredibly impressive. However, you know, it's like they took him from 5 or 6 years before he actually died, and then did it with that. But it's still he's too sharp. Everything's too smooth. His emotions aren't quite fluid enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that was. All right. So I'm gonna watch hopefully tomorrow the Edward Snowden interview, and then I will give you my opinion of him afterwards. And I hope you enjoy listening to my opinion of him. And if you are enjoying listening to my opinions, then please 1534 subscribe. I better go on to a new page. Pass this along word of mouth, via email, with Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Oh yeah, 15, 20, we'll say. Subscribe. I saw a video the other day. If anybody knows how to do this, let me know. They had a button. Bong! There won't be a button there because there's no button. There is no button. There is no spoon. That you could literally click right there and subscribe. I imagine that must be like a premiere thing, or you must have to pay for something like that. But if it's a free thing and I don't know about it, let me know about it in the comments below. Like these videos, share them, love them, trade them, collect them, like Pokemon from Pokeshan. Except the ones with no behinds. You can keep them. A little ice cube for you. Sure you like that ice cube. Alright, you guys have a great night. Please remember, continue to make people smile tomorrow. Every tomorrow. Because it might have been their last tomorrow if you didn't. Yeah, see? I'm going to scare you into it. Thanks, guys, for coming back and checking these out. Honestly, my friends, strangers, whoever's watching this, I hope you're loving them. I don't necessarily think you're going to agree with everything I say. And that's cool. And I want that to be cool. I want it to be cool that we always have differences, but we still get along. And, we can still go to picnics together and not want to strangle each other or hate each other. And I have friends that I think are like that. Like, I think that they disagree, but we can still hang. And I think that's awesome. So, for all of us here at the Road to 40, to all of you at home, let's make this world spin a little happier together. Here's to a few more awesome tomorrows. Thanks for coming back. I'll catch you on the next one.